Okay, let me start this theorem. The statement of the theorem is a polynomial fx belonging to the collection of polynomials cx of degree n, this polynomial has at most maximum n distinct roots. Means if a polynomial is of degree 1, then it will have at most one root. If a polynomial is of degree 2, then it will have at most 2 roots. And similarly, if the polynomial is of 5 degree, then it will have at most 5 degree, and so on. If it is of the degree n, then the polynomial will have at most n roots in that. So we will prove this theorem. So let me start it. Suppose that there are some roots of the polynomial fx. Let c1, c2, c3, and so on up to cm be distinct roots of polynomial fx. Okay, in C, so C means complex number, any number you can take in the field of complex. So here we have assumed that c1, c2 up to cm are the roots of the polynomial fx. So what is cm? M may be greater than n, or m may be less than n. Polynomial has the degree n and the roots are m. N is the number of degree of the polynomial and m is the number of roots of the polynomial. So we have to show here these roots cannot exceed than the degree of polynomial, and m will always be less than or equal to n. We have to show this here. That is our theorem, that a polynomial fx of the degree n has at most n distinct elements. It cannot exceed n. So we have taken here, let c1, c2 up to cm be distinct roots of the polynomial fx in C. Then I will show you that m is less than n finally. So I will start from first root c1. Since c1 is the root of fx, so since it is the root of fx, so by factor theorem, states that x minus c1 is a factor of fx. So we can write, therefore I can write here fx is equal to x minus c1 into something quotient polynomial will come q1 x for some quotient function. And let me proceed this process. Similarly, since c2 is again root of polynomial fx, so by the same logic, argument above, x minus c2 is a factor of fx. This is a factor of fx. And what does this mean? This implies x minus c2 divides fx. This implies x minus c2 divides the right side. Fx is equal to this x minus c1 into q1x. But x minus c2 cannot divide to x minus c1. This implies x minus c2 should divide q1 x. Since x minus c2 divides this product and x minus c2 cannot divide to x minus c1 because these roots are different, c1 and c2 are different, therefore obviously x minus c2 cannot divide to x minus c1, therefore x minus c2 should divide to q1x. So there exists something q2x in the polynomials such that we can write that q1x is equal to x minus c2 into q2x. Okay, therefore I will put the value of q1x in this equation 1. Therefore from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2 I will substitute the value and I can write f x is equal to x minus c1, x minus c2 and q2x. While proceeding this way, similarly proceeding the process by same argument, finally we got at the final we can write x minus c1, it is x minus c2, fx is equal to x minus c1, x minus c2, x minus c3, and so on up to how long we will do this, up to m, up to x minus cm, and this is qm. Okay, in particular n is equal to degree of fx, and fx is equal to what? This and plus this. Fx is equal to m plus degree of this. Separate these in two zones. This is the degree m and this is the degree of separate, plus degree of qm, degree of the polynomial qmx. So obviously you are looking here, the degree n is greater than m. You can see here the equation. N is the degree of fx, that is equal to this, and this is the degree m. This polynomial is of the degree m, and this is additional. So I can write n is equal to m plus degree of qm x. This will imply that n is always greater than m. So this implies the what is n? This result shows that the polynomial fx can have maximum n roots, not more than n. So this implies polynomial fx of degree n has at most n roots. It cannot have more than n roots because altogether there were m roots and m cannot exceed n, we have shown here. So polynomials of fx of degree n has at most n roots, we have shown here. So this way our theorem is proved here.